Welcome to the Eat Better, Move Better, Live Better podcast presented by Flourish with Tracy, where we'll dive into the realms of holistic wellness, plant-based nutrition, yoga, and self-care to help you live your best life. Tune in every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern for our special segments. Meditation Monday, start your week with mindfulness. Wellness Wednesdays, get the midweek boost you need. Sadhana Saturdays, dedicate weekends to personal growth. Join us as we explore and discuss all things to eat better, move better, and live better. Welcome. Today, I'd like to explore a powerful and sometimes misunderstood practice of forgiveness. Not forgiveness as a concept, not as a demand. Forgiveness as a clearing of the heart. It's a practice that's not about denying pain or pretending that something didn't happen. And it's not about saying what occurred was acceptable. Instead, it's about seeing forgiveness as an opportunity to free ourselves from the weight of carrying a wound indefinitely. At any given time, no matter how egregious an action may appear, people are acting from the level of awareness, pain, conditioning, and understanding that they may have in that moment. And that's the best that they could be. And that doesn't excuse their behavior, but noticing and observing allows and creates space for compassion. And in that space is where the heart begins to soften. So I'd like to invite you to arrive here and now, taking a slow breath in, deep breath out. Relaxing, moving your shoulders away from your ears. Beginning to breathe at your own cadence and pace. Allowing this time to be gentle with yourself. So let's understand what forgiveness is. When we hear the word forgiveness, we may feel some sort of reaction. We may think, I should forgive. Or we may feel, I'm not ready. And sometimes we say, I never will forgive. And all of these responses are human. Forgiveness is not a switch that you flip on or off. It's a process. It's a process of your heart. Forgiveness is the release of resentment, anger, or desire for retaliation. It's a gradual loosening of the emotions that grip this past experience. Forgiveness is often misunderstood. It's presented as approval, of forgetting, of reconciliation, and sometimes of weakness. But forgiveness, true forgiveness, is actually a form of inner strength and liberation. And it says, I no longer want this pain to control my life. Forgiveness benefits us physically and emotionally. Research suggests that forgiveness can reduce your stress hormones, lower your blood pressure, improve your sleep, increase emotional resilience, support your mental clarity, improve relationships, and reduce anxiety and rumination. Beyond science, there's also an energetic component. In yogic philosophy, it is thought that resentment creates energetic stagnation in the heart center. Holding on to anger for long periods can feel like a weight inside the chest. Forgiveness begins the process of clearing that weight. It's a powerful perspective shift. And as I mentioned in the introduction, which is worth repeating, at any given time, no matter how harmful or misguided someone's behavior may have been, they were doing the best that they could at that time with whatever awareness, pain, conditioning, or resources they had in that moment. Doesn't minimize the harm, but it does help us understand something deeper, and it opens the door to forgiveness. And these actions can arise from unhealed wounds, fear, ignorance, trauma, a learned behavior, a survival response, or being emotionally immature. When someone harms us, it often reflects their own inner suffering rather than our worth. And this perspective creates an opportunity to move from judgment to understanding, from hatred to compassion, from tightness to openness. And as you reflect on moments in your life when you may have acted from stress, fear, or misunderstanding, sometimes you can look back and say, wish I'd handled that a little differently. And this realization helps us extend that same possibility to others. Compassion arises when we recognize humans are imperfect learners. We're evolving, and sometimes we hurt others while navigating our own pain. Forgiveness begins when we understand that pain often moves through people before it moves through the world. Tools to help support compassion are loving kindness and metta. It helps you cultivate. Loving kindness is the sincere wish for well-being for ourselves and others, and this practice is known as metta. Metta means unconditional love, friendliness, universal goodwill, and active benevolence towards all beings. If you practice a metta meditation, you train the heart to naturally move towards compassion instead of contraction. And it follows a sequence. The sequence is to first send kindness to yourself, then to someone you love, someone neutral that you may or may not know, someone difficult, and then to all beings. And the phrases are very simple. May you be safe. May you be peaceful. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. And when you practice metta regularly, you begin to change the emotional climate of your mind. Instead of replaying the story of harm, you learn to generate a healing intention. Metta does not require emotional readiness immediately. When you silently repeat the phrases, you plant seeds, and over time, those seeds soften your heart. And it's not easy. Forgiveness is difficult. Forgiveness can be challenging because sometimes we believe if I forgive, it means that what happened was okay. It may make us feel that if I forgive, I might get hurt again. And sometimes anger feels like a protection. And sometimes the wound is still very fresh. Forgiveness often requires time, safety, understanding, and emotional processing. And it's important to know that you don't need to rush forgiveness, that you can move at your own pace, the pace of your nervous system. And that sometimes the first step is not forgiving others, but forgiving yourself. And to know that if this is very difficult and that you need assistance to help navigate, that there are always practitioners, therapists, mental health workers, and support groups to help you navigate. And if you're able, there are practices that you can do to help cultivate forgiveness and clear the heart. The first practice is naming the hurt. Healing begins with honesty. Take time to acknowledge what happened, how it affected you, what emotions are present. And you can journal, asking the question, what pain am I carrying? And writing down what shows up. You can also ask, what part of this experience is still asking to be seen? And name the emotions. That's an act of courage. The second practice is to expand your perspective, to see things externally, outside of the situation, asking yourself what might be happening in that person's life at that time. Were they acting from fear, confusion, or pain? Again, this does not excuse the behavior, but understanding reduces emotional rigidity. Compassion often grows from context. And then third, breathe through your heart, placing a hand on your heart, and slow down your breathing. And imagine that you're breathing directly from the center of your chest. And as you inhale, imagine that the space is expanding. And as you exhale, imagine the heaviness is lifting, dissolving, melting. And you may silently repeat to yourself, I am willing to soften. This does not force forgiveness. It's just acknowledging willingness. The fourth is the metta, a loving kindness, to repeat slowly. May I be free from resentment. May my heart find peace. May I heal at my own pace. And then gradually turn that loving kindness outward. May they awaken to wisdom. May they grow beyond their past actions. May all beings learn compassion. And then notice how that shifts your inner state. The fifth practice is to visualize this as a weight. Imagine carrying something heavy that represented a past hurt. And notice how long you've been holding it. Now imagine that you've placed it down, not throwing it away, just making a choice not to carry it constantly. Forgiveness is often simply setting down what you no longer wish to hold. And now I'd like to invite you to a brief guided forgiveness meditation. Slowly soften your gaze or close your eyes. Allow the surface beneath you to hold you. Settling in, taking a slow breath in and out. Relaxing your shoulders, softening your tongue. Bring all of your awareness, focus and attention to your heart center. Notice the rhythm of your breath. Now gently bring to mind someone who has caused you difficulty or pain. And only if this feels safe. If it feels overwhelming, instead focus on self-forgiveness. and observe what arises. There's no need to push anything away, just notice. Now softly, silently repeat. At that time, we were all doing the best we could with the awareness that we had. Some of these actions cause harm, and I acknowledge, but I no longer wish to carry any pain associated with it. As you breathe in, hold your breath. And now exhale slowly, silently repeating to yourself, I am open to release anything that weighs on my heart. If it's possible, right here and now. And if it is not, it's okay to say, I am open to releasing what weighs on my heart. Not today, perhaps, but someday. And allow compassion to grow where your resentment once lived. Release it and bring all of your focus, awareness, and attention to yourself. Silently repeating, may I be free. May I be at peace. May healing embrace. Taking a slow breath in and out. Allowing your body to relax. Wiggling your fingers and toes and opening your eyes. Gently bringing your awareness back to the space where you currently are. Feeling the clearing, the making of space within your heart. Forgiveness is not a single decision, it's a journey. Sometimes forgiveness happens right away. Sometimes forgiveness happens gradually. Sometimes it happens in layers. Sometimes we forgive just a little more each day, month, or year. And sometimes the deepest healing occurs when we realize that holding on to resentment often hurts us more than the original event. And that one of the most transformative understanding is remembering that people are always acting from the level of consciousness they have at that time. And when we remember this, compassion becomes possible. And compassion is one of the most powerful forces that clears the heart. Forgiveness isn't about forgetting. It's about freedom. Freedom to move forward without carrying the past as a permanent burden. Freedom to reclaim the energy of the heart. And freedom to live with more peace. May your heart feel lighter as you move forward. May you embrace the freedom to live with more peace. Thank you for sharing time and space today. Thanks for tuning in. I hope today's insights help you on a personal journey towards a healthier, happier life. Don't forget to join every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern for more self-care and holistic wellness tips. Before you go, make sure to comment, click the bell, like, and subscribe buttons for upcoming episode notifications. Be sure to always consult a medical professional before making any major changes regarding your health, diet, or routine. In the meanwhile, stay motivated, stay inspired, and remember, every step you take is one step closer to a better you. Until next time, keep flourishing, and as always, may all be well.